All right, we're good. All right, let's move on to our first item on the agenda. We have our committee reports. Our first committee will be the Communications Committee, chaired by Ms. Melanie Garza and co-chair Rolando Segovia.
Awesome. Hi, good morning, everybody. So a few updates from the Communication Committee. As of recent, we've had a few social media contests. So let me go ahead and share my screen on my way. Sorry, I have a bunch of windows. But we did have a costume contest in the month of October, and we did have a few winners. So let me go ahead and share that. Wait, I'm going. Okay. I know it's like the editing, but it's because I can't see you all when I do it the other way. But we have our first place winner, which was our dark sorceress, Miss Lisbeth Fernandez from the Office of the Registrar. She had the most likes on all platforms. So we were really excited for that. We also have our second place winners, which was Veronica Flores and Noel The Rock Rangel from UTRGV Recruitment. And then our third place winner, our staff senator Cordelia as Jake from State Farm. Our like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So we were very excited with the submissions that we got, and we appreciate you all participating. You'll be hearing from me through Teams at some point or through email for your prize from Staff Senate. We also had our running campaign from Find Your Orange that we launched in Welcome Week this fall semester. We do want to continue encouraging you all to keep finding your orange, right? Like, why is it an amazing time to be a vaquero? And feel free to use the hashtag on social media and share with Staff Senate so we can, continue representing UTRGV and the awesome pride we have for the institution and our students. We had some winners through this campaign as well who received an awesome orange basket from Staff Senate. And we hope to have another one come spring. So just to showcase Ms. Gracina from Outreach and Testing, and then our amazing team from Professional Education and Workforce Development, both at CES and the Aber campus, and Millie and Jesus from the University Library. So very excited for that. Thank you all for participating. A few other updates. Dining Services is having some like Thanksgiving feast and a BOGO. This upcoming Thursday is Thanksgiving feast food, so feel free to go to the locations on campus. We have posted it on our Instagram as well as them through theirs. And then next Thursday, they're having a buy one, get one off or get one 50% off. Let me get that really quick. I just don't want to give the wrong info. So let me share that. Here it is. So yeah, Thanksgiving feast today and BOGO promotion, buy one, get one half off, come next Thursday. So awesome times to get some good, yummy food on campus, take some friends, some colleagues. And then, yeah, that's it on my end, but I hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Senator Garza. Up next, we have our next committee report. We have the Elections and Constitution Committee. It's chaired by Ms. Monica Granado and co-chaired by Ms. Irene Cardenas.
Hello, good morning. The Elections and Constitution Committee has been working on the Constitution referendum. Y'all may have noticed we sent out a survey last week. We did get results, but we are currently verifying that they're correct. So we'll get that results out to you soon. Up next on our agenda, we're going to be doing the Staff Senate elections to fill any vacant senator positions. So keep an eye out on your emails for that. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Staff Senator Monica. Up next, we have our next committee, and that is the Feedback Committee. It is chaired by Ms. Jasmine Zuniga and co-chair Marissa Campirano.
I'm sorry, technical difficulties on this side. Is it okay if I share my screen, Yadira?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see that?
We sure can.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so hello everyone. Just wanted to give you a few updates. So we did have one recent update. There was a submission back in September that I actually got information from our environmental safety and risk management department. And there was issues on the Van Wink between the water tower and the daycare center. I know there's some confusion that goes on there because there's lack of crosswalks and also lines that go through that street. And I know there was concerns with the staff and the students. So we went ahead and let them know about it. And they just got funding for that to address the traffic concerns. So they're gonna go ahead and work on that. And so there will be some, you know, if you see any project going on there, that's probably what it is. It shouldn't, I'm not sure if it'll impact the traffic, but if anything, they'll probably send out a notice and we'll let you guys know if anything, you know, happens in that area. Cause I know it's one of those detour areas that everybody uses. So we are pending a few more information. One of them that we also got back in September was for the extension of the HP track hours. I know usually a lot of people like to come on the weekends or maybe after hours during working, you know, open working hours, I'm sorry. But this is more of a security issue. I know the PD, we did reach out to them and they're kind of looking into it to see if we can maybe extend it. I'm not sure what the final issue is on that, but we will get back to you guys as soon as we get more information. And then we did last week, I think a week or two ago, I'm sorry, I know it's been a while since I brought up any updates to this, but we did talk about the mileage rate. So there's a link there. Also, there's an iTravel training in case you want to know more about that for those that, you know, do a lot of travel between Harlingen, Brownsville, and even maybe outside the Valley. Also, we did talk about the HP1 nanatorium. We are still looking into that. Facilities is looking at options. We're doing some groundwork for it just to see where, you know, the potential area would be. So that's all we have. Until we get more, we'll go ahead and update you as they come in, okay? Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Staff Senator Jasmine. Up next, we have our last committee, and that's going to be our staff success. It is chaired by Ms. Maribel Mata and co-chair Ms. Veronica Villarreal.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. Good morning, everybody. So this past Tuesday, we were happy to collaborate with the Office of Student Success in the First Gen celebration, which was held on both, I believe, both campuses. And so we were happy to collaborate and be a part of that. And we'd like to remind all of you First Gen staff that, you know, we are still taking your narrative. So we'd love to hear your narrative on you being a first generation college student. So I'll go ahead and share the link for that here shortly on the chat. And also we want to hear what you're thankful for. So this is in collaboration with marketing and communications. We'll share the link. And so what are you thankful for this year? And we'd love to see a picture and hear your story. And so we'll share the link for that on the chat as well. And that's all I have for you this morning. Thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Staff Senator Maribel. So yes, leading up to that, actually. So as y'all may know, yes, we are a Hispanic serving institution. And so primarily our students, you know, are first gen. But as a staff senate and in collaboration actually with faculty senate, we want to celebrate you all because you all are an important component to this university because you all have experienced that. Whether it's a first gen or a first gen supporter, you are an impact to that institution. And just like we had that notification, you're actually part of that equation. So remember, faculty success plus staff success equals to student success. And so you all are, each and one of you are actually that institutional agent that will serve that success to everyone. And also you will serve as an inspiration to everyone else. And so leading up to that conversation, we will now start with our first guest speaker for this staff general meeting. We have Mr. Aaron Hinojosa, who is our Director for Special Programs, TRIO. He's up with us online, and we're actually here in the Brownsville campus, so we get to see maybe a little each other across maybe, but let's welcome Mr. Aaron Hinojosa. And
Hi,
there's
Yadira.
cyber clap there. So.
Cyber
yes.
reactions.
Yes.
Yadira, thank you so much. And thank you, Staff Senate, for sharing the space and the time to present to you all. It's very exciting to be in your platform, right? Because of the reach. I was scanning through the pages, and it's a lot of pages to go through how many people are in the room, but thank you for sharing the space and the time. Although only my name is listed on the presentation of speakers, I'm not the only one presenting for a range of reasons. I wouldn't be a successful director without a great team. We wouldn't have a successful program without a great team. So some of my team is here. And if you can grant sharing privileges to Sinu Walkley, oh, you have it. Because we have a little presentation for you all today, but thank you again. As Yadira mentioned, my name is Aaron. My pronouns are he, him, el, and I'm the director for TRIO Student Support Services program here at UTRGV. So what we want to share with you is a little bit of what we do. Some of you are probably very familiar with our program, but if you're not, hopefully this will give you a better idea so you can help refer some of your students who qualify for our program. But I already see some familiar names and faces, so I think that's also really exciting. Like I mentioned, I'm not the only one here. I want to invite over the staff to introduce themselves, and we can continue.
Hi, so my name is Andrea Godoy, and I'm the Learning Instructional Specialist here with TRIO.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Xinyu Walkley. I'm the Student Development Specialist here at TRIO.
We also have an administrative assistant, Max. Also, as important as professional staff, we have some student staff present. And I want to invite them over to introduce themselves. And next slide.
Hi, good morning. My name is Cassandra. I am a peer coach assistant. I am majoring in rehabilitation services, and I am a junior. I joined TRIO as a participant back in 2020, and I started working here as a peer coach in fall of 2021.
Hi, good morning. My name is Estefania Garcia. I'm also a peer coach assistant. My major is exercise science. I'm currently a senior, and I've been a TRIO participant since 2019, and I started working here back in spring 2020.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ciden Lopez, and I am majoring in biomedical science with a minor in nutritional science. I am a sophomore also, and I have been a TRIO participant in science for 2021. And I have recently just joined to work to the team in fall 2022 as a peer coach assistant. It's glad to be here.
Thank you, everyone. We're scattered in our space. So as you can see, there, some of us are in our offices, Edith is in our storage, but we're managing to present virtually for y'all today. So we do have other student staff, and they were on the previous slide. We have peer coaches and tutors, and I know Andrea and Sinu will be describing a little bit of what they do and that resource that's available for our participants. So why are we here today? Like Yadira mentioned, we are celebrating National First Generation College Student Day. The official day was on Tuesday, but a lot of us celebrate the entire week, the entire month. Hey, let's celebrate all year round, right? But we want to talk to you a little bit of what we do, but also some of the history. If you've been to one of my presentations before, I like to incorporate a little bit of history. And if history bores you like it used to bore me, and that's changed, sometimes we don't realize how much of our history has impacted our present day. But what I want to do is share a little bit of that history from our NASPA blog, from the Center for Student Success, Center for First Generation Student Success. But November 8th was selected, and in the chat box is the link for that. I know that the link is a little dramatic, but it's the actual link, I promise. November 8th was selected as the date for the annual National First Generation College Celebration to honor the anniversary of the signing of the Higher Education Act of 1965. The Higher Education Act, HEA, emerged out of President Lyndon B. Johnson's war on poverty. Much like other hallmark legislation in that era, such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights of 1965, HEA was intended to help level a playing field that for too long had been weighed against Americans from minority and low-income backgrounds. In addition to creating federal grants and loan programs to help students finance their educations, the legislation made key investments in institutions of higher education. Additionally, HEA ushered in programs, particularly the federal TRIO programs, necessary for post-secondary access, retention, and completion for low-income potential first-generation college graduates. So that gives you a really good summary of some of our history of our TRIO programs. We have a range of programs at UTRGV. Some we'll get to in a little bit, but the photos that you see are one of the ways that we celebrated our National First Generation College Student Day here over at TRIO SSS. Some of our students filled out a sign that kind of indicated who inspires them, what their goals are, what their majors are, some of the career aspirations to help them remind them to also pave the way for other first-gen people. If you think our photo backdrop is super cute like we do, we still have it up. And we're located in the Brownsville campus on the second floor of the Music, Science, and Learning Center building. It'll come down on Fridays, so limited time offer. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so those are some of the photos that you'll see on our slide. A little bit more on our history. We are funded by the Department of Education, and there's different programs. Back to the link that I shared with you all, I want to read a little bit more because it's important to know of the other programs that exist. The first TRIO program in HEA was Talent Search, was united with another program, Upward Bound, that had been authorized as part of the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964. A few years later, a third program came about, which is Special Services for Disadvantaged Students, later known as Student Support Services. And that was launched in 1968. Together, this TRIO, so 3 federally funded programs, encouraged access to higher education for low-income students. In subsequent decades, the federal programs emerged as a vital pipeline to opportunity, serving traditional age students, displaced workers, students with disabilities, and military veterans. Then other programs came about: Education Opportunity Centers, Veterans Upward Bound in 1972, the Ronald McNair Postbaccalaureate Achievement Program in 1968, and then Upward Bound Math and Science in 1980. So whenever we talk about the importance of serving our students who are low income, first gen, and students with disabilities, our program helps with some of those students. Also in our room are some other staff from TRIO. I saw Dr. Cynthia Walls here, Eddie, I think Dariela's here, and Sabina. There's too many pages to scroll, so I probably missed someone, but I think it's important to acknowledge other people in the room and to share the space. But that's a little bit of some of those programs. And to kind of wrap up my portion, we serve individuals from low income status, first gen, and students with documented disabilities. We help them with a range of things. I think Andrea will explain a little bit more, and Sinu, but we hope to get them connected. As a first gen student myself and a product of McNair Scholars Program, also a CAMP student, although CAMP is not a TRIO program, it still helps serve very similar populations, specifically students with migrant farm worker backgrounds. I heard somebody say hello. Can you mute yourself? That would be fantastic. So we are a staff of 13. We are only on the Brownsville campus, but we also help cater to some of our students in Edinburgh and in other virtual outside of the Valley. But we try to tell them, hey, we're only in Brownsville. By the way, we only have an office space in Brownsville. So let me pass it over to Sinu for the next portion.
Hopefully by now you're excited about our program. To be eligible for our program is very simple. The student just need to be pursuing a first bachelor's degree and be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, and then meet at least one of the following criteria. First, the student can be either a first-generation student, which means neither of the student's parents graduated from a U.S. university. Second is qualify as low-income under federal income guidelines, and then have a documented disability on file with our student accessibility services. If you have any students who say they are not sure or uncertain about whether they are eligible to attend our program, feel free to send them our way and we'll help them to figure it out.
Yes, so through our services, really, we try to help students navigate college in a variety of ways. So one of the main things that our students use is our multifunctional space. So our office space, a lot of students use it to study, just to come and hang here in between their classes. We also do offer tutoring. So we have dedicated tutors for our participants. So we offer a variety of subjects if they need help with them, but if there's a subject that we don't offer, we do tend to refer them with the Learning Center. We also do have resources here in our office. So we have MCAT preparation books, GRE preparation, GMAT preparation. So students are welcome to study those books while they're here at the office. We also have a computer lab with Mac computers. A lot of graphic design students tend to make use of them to complete their assignments. We also hold regular workshops throughout the year. So usually most of these have either an academic or financial literacy component. We have touched on subjects ranging from mental health to study skills, again, financial literacy. And we try to provide a variety of opportunities for students to be engaged throughout the semester. We offer community building opportunities, again, through the events that we hold, but also in our office space where students are able to get to know each other. We also provide some grant aid, and we also do coaching and guidance on a one-on-one basis. So if we go to the next slide, some of what we tend to do with students is we review degree works with them, we discuss their program of study, we assist with class selection. Through all this, we try to put the college experience in perspective so that students can identify what they hope to get out of college so that the choices they make can best support them in those goals. So we help them also explore financial aid options, create short and long-term goals, again, keeping in mind what they hope to achieve with college. We explain policies that might be confusing, especially for students who are just starting out. We highlight important campus resources, connect them to them, which we will talk about more later. And we also help them identify any challenges that might come up so that we can create action plans so they can overcome them. For this one, I will pass it over to Aaron.
Thank you, Andrea. So these next few slides, just to kind of break off the text, and I'm a visual learner first and foremost, so I like to see photos and I like to see things. This kind of highlights some of our summer programming. We offered a range of things for our students like mental health awareness, self-care, a discussion about safety, and a few presentations. The next slide is going to show a few of the other photos, but we also try to help connect students to each other. I think recovering or trying to recover from a pandemic that still looms, getting back to campus was a little challenging for some, but a lot of people were ready. So we wanted to offer that in the summer to prepare for the fall. The next slide shows one of the perks of being in our program, which are educational trips. One of the trips that we planned in the summer was a quick little beach trip. I know some of you are like, wait, y'all went to the beach? Well, it was an educational trip where we went to the Wildlife and Nature Bird Center. And then we also went to the Sea Turtles Place to learn about our local wildlife and how we can help preserve and conserve things and just learning about our wildlife. I know I wanted to invite over Stefania and Cassandra and Edith to share a little bit of like what they learned or their highlights. I know Stefania and Cassandra, as student employees and TRIO participants, they help plan the majority of this with our help, but I wanted to invite y'all over to share some of that.
Hi, for this experience, I learned a lot, especially in the Sea Turtle Inc. conservation. I got to learn how the turtles were conserved and how a lot of them experienced tumors and cancers, and how their employees would help them get healed and then return them back to the wildlife, or if not, they would officially be part of the Sea Turtle Inc. as residents.
So for the SPI trip, we had about 23 participants join us. And as Aaron said, and Cassandra, we went to the Nature Walk Center and the Sea Turtle Inc. And we got to learn about our wildlife that we have close to us. And also it was just a day of fun afterwards, and just for his participants to get to know each other better and feel comfortable with us and have fun, as I mentioned, before the fall semester began.
As you can tell, the trip is very academic oriented, but we also had a blast. We had a fun. And currently we are working on planning a trip next year where we'll take our students to tour some colleges and universities. There's also going to be service learning opportunities. Best of all, the trip is all paid for. All students need to bring is an empty stomach and a positive attitude.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. This next slide just kind of highlights some of the other resources that we have. I know Andrea mentioned some of them, but we help students with either Scantrons for preparation for their exams, copy, a printer that works like the slide shows, but other resources that students may need. We would not be successful without our essential campus partners. We've collaborated with a range of some of you are in the room, and some of them are listed on here, from the library to professors, academic advisor, learning center, financial aid, counseling, so a range of offices. We are not the experts at all the things, although we're like mini advisors, we're mini financial aid, little assistant, and mentors and other things, but we don't know all the things, and that's okay. So we try to refer students whenever we reach that of like, wait, that's a very complex question. So we do utilize our resources. The next few slides, and Yadira, if you can tell me like how we're doing with time, because obviously we're really excited about what we do.
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we just switched to another conference room. So, but yes, no, you're good on time,
Okay.
Aaron.
Okay.
Yes.
Bueno, these next few slides kind of highlight some of those important collaborations. But let me invite over Andrea to share this one.
Yes, so for this event in particular, it was part of our college survival series that we did at the beginning of this fall semester. The idea behind it was really to equip students, especially freshmen, with the skills that they need to get through the semester successfully. So this event in particular was about communicating with faculty. So a lot of students who are starting out might not be too sure about how to construct an email to a professor. They might not even be aware of office hours or what that means. So we invited Dr. Silvia Solis to share some of her tips and best practices to communicate with faculty. She is a professor in Mexican American Studies, Environmental Studies, and Gender and Women Studies. So through her advice and her perspective as a professor, I think she was able to really inform students on, again, some of the best practices. She also did get to share, having been a first-generation student herself and now being a professor, she was able to share some of that experience, advice, and you know what that process was like for her. She also did share some of her experience, like knowledge in her field, which was also really enriching and fascinating, not just for students, but for all of us. So that was a really enriching event, I feel.
Also, every semester, we hold 2 FAFSA fluency workshops where we invite our financial aid officers over to our office computer lab where they can assist our students with their FAFSA completion. So this semester, we invited Officer Jose Chavez and Elma Perez to help our students with their FAFSA.
One of our Saturday activities this semester was Embrace Your Journey, which was a day of team building, of self-reflection exercises, and leadership activities. There was also some fun games to help with our students' social skills. But on these photos are some of those activities. I want to invite over Estefania and Cassandra and Edith if they could share some of your highlights from a student perspective.
Hi, yes. In one of these activities, as you can see, one of the students is blindfolded, which was my partner, and we tried to guide them through a path filled with obstacles and not to mention other people around us. And it was more of a trust exercise, trusting that your partner would guide you to the right path and knowing that somebody was there for you. So I really got to learn that aspect in like both ways. So that was a really fun activity.
Also at the end, almost at the end of the retreat, we had like a about me form, and everyone had to fill it out with however they wanted to share. And then we're on the circle and we just got to learn and hear about each other, which I also feel like it's important because we have like a lot of participants and sometimes it's difficult to try to connect with them. But this activity really helped us get to know each other more and see if we had similar likes between us, which is also fun and good to know.
What I like it most, it was a exercise called affirmation exercise, which was very nice because you will not see who touches you. That helped it to recognize every person that they are special, because sometimes we think like we don't know what to do. We are not able to see how valuable we are. So that makes us more special and see that we have something to contribute to the world, and that we always have to trust in ourselves and see what other people see from us.
Nice. Thank you, Edith, Estefania, and Cassandra. The next slide, we do book clubs throughout the semester, throughout the year. One of the book clubs was a special twist. We invited UTRGV professor, Dr. David Bowles. He's the author of Ghosts of the Rio Grande Valley. So if you like some scary stories, you can pick this up or you can order it online. I don't work for him, I promise. But I think it's important, the power of storytelling, and especially seeing yourself in books like David has been doing in many other books. He's also a contributing writer for Living Beyond Borders, Growing Up Mexican in America, with other Mexican-American writers, writing about the Valley, writing about like border communities, which again is very important to see yourself in the world. And a lot of our programming and our efforts go back to that, is normalizing seeing yourself in the world as a first generation student, as a son of or daughter or of immigrants, as a person from a lower socioeconomic status, as a student with disability. It's important to showcase that and to have that accessible. So David was in our space and he signed their books, and he shared his experience of like writing and being an author of a book, which I've never met an author of a book, and someone who also shares stories that sound like me, that look like me. So it's really exciting to provide this for students, and David was gracious enough to come to Brownsville for that. The next slide, we had a little Halloween social, which we learned about the origins and the history of Halloween, and some of our local stories. Again, Mexican folklore is very important, and just some painting and crafts. Student staff, Estefania, Cassandra, Edith, if you want to share a little bit about our social. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, we had a fun time in this Halloween like activity. We got to paint pumpkins and we got to work together as teams and finding out what design we wanted for our pumpkins and in our cookies. And not to mention that we were just in a safe place and enjoying each other's companies. And overall, we had a good time.
Nice. I know Dolores shared that the library has some of David's books, and David is not the only like UTRGV professor or local author. And I think that's also very important. But yes, thank you, Dolores. Before we continue, Shinyu, there's no slide, but I wanted to do a special shout out to the career services. We have made some great collaborations this semester. During internship week, 2 of our participants presented at both campuses. Our peer coach, Annabelle, and one of our participants, Omar. We didn't have the photos yet, but I wanted to acknowledge that really great collaboration. And we're also currently doing a career launch with some of our participants to help prepare them for their first or next career step. So, Shinyu, this is you.
Yep. So to conclude, all we are trying to do is to create an inviting and welcoming environment for our student. We try our best and making every effort to make it a home away from home from our student.
We're located in the Brownsville Music Science and Learning Center building on the second floor. We're currently open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 6, and then Friday, 8 to 5. So come see us, stop by. And then the last slide is ways to connect with Andrea.
Yes, so some of the ways to connect with us, you can email us through our email that is listed here on the screen. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where we regularly share updates of some of our workshops and events. Our website also listed here. You can find our application there and also the steps to join if you wish to link any students who you want to refer to us. And our office number is also listed here.
You all, we have reached the end of our presentation. I want to open up for any questions, but I do see things happening in the chat. I see Cristina De Leon was in Talent Search. That's really exciting. Some of these TRIO programs are for high school students, and currently at UTRGV for our college students is our TRIO SSS. And then camp is kind of within our area, but I see dolphins and turtles and sharks from Victor. Any questions from anyone? Well, Yadira, I will turn it back over to you, I think. But again, thank you for hosting us. Thank you for inviting us to share the space and the time. If you all have any questions, reach out to us. But thank you all so much. Yadira, we can't hear you.
Yadi, we can't hear you.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Hello? 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 Hello?
No worries, Ms. Yadi. I'll go ahead and I'll take it from here. So our next presenter is Ms. Linda Uflin. Is she on the? Are you ready?
Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning, Veronica.
So it sounds like Yadira might have multiple microphones in her room.
Yeah, maybe someone's nearby listening in with an open mic. I would mute everybody and let the speaker unmute themselves. I think the presenter can mute all.
Yeah, but to Veronica's point, if the next presenter is up, we can keep going. And if they're not ready, maybe we can go to the next.
I think who's hosting this? I think the next guest speaker is Hector.
No.
Let's go on the agenda that I see.
Yes, if Ms. Eflin isn't available, if Mr. Hector Perez, our technology support supervisor, if you'd like to begin your presentation.
Sure, I don't mind. I can go next. Let me share then my presentation. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it, Hector. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Okay. Good morning. My name is Hector Perez. I'm the technology support supervisor with IT Support Services. I'm based here on the Edinburgh campus. And we're going to talk about the computer lifecycle replacement project that IT is working on at the moment. An announcement was sent a few weeks ago announcing the project, and we've had a lot of questions come in already through our dedicated mailbox that we have for this project. So like to come in and present and maybe address some of the questions that staff members might have about what's happening with all with the project. So to begin, so the objective of the program is to prioritize the replacement of all the older standard office computers that are currently in use. And we're going to be based on the machine's age, so how old the computer is. The project is expected to last for the next 6 years. So every year, we're going to be buying computers in bulk and replacing computers that are on campus. This is the first time that UTRGV actually does the computer replacement. This is a program that we had before with a legacy institution, UTPA. So some of you may already be familiar, and a lot of others, this might be something new. I know that for the last year that UTPA had the program, we weren't able to finish before the transition to UTRGV. So some people in the Brownsville campus actually ended up getting some replacement computers from the last replacement project from UTPA. But this is the first official replacement project for UTRGV. So we're pretty excited that this is happening because we understand that there's a lot of computers on campus that are pretty old, and not all departments have the same budgets to do replacements. So one of the other objectives for this project is to prioritize replacing computers that are not compatible with the Windows 11 operating system. So for the technical requirements for Windows 11, there are certain Intel processors that are not compatible with Windows 11. So I believe it's about the 6th generation and older are not compatible. So about computers that are 6 years old in age are the ones that we would be targeting first. So 6 years or older. And then also, so as far as what types of computers we'll be replacing, if faculty and staff currently have a PC, we will be replacing the computer with a new PC. If the old computer they have is an Apple computer, then we will be replacing with another Apple computer. And all the computers are going to be based on the computer standard for the university. The next thing is Employees have to turn in all the outdated computer equipment in their position in order to receive a new computer through this program. What this means is if someone has 2 computers in their office that qualify for replacement, they will have to turn in both computers. They will receive only one new computer. If the departments want to keep a computer for whatever reason, it must be approved through an exception process. And the computer, however, has to be eligible for future OS upgrades. So it has to be able to upgrade to Windows 11 or to the latest version of Mac OS for the Mac computers. I guess the first batch of computers that we will be targeting likely will not be able to upgrade. So those computers will have to be turned in. So another objective for this is to try to give all the remote workers, hybrid staff, and faculty laptops with docking stations. So a lot of the things that happened during COVID taught us that we need the flexibility to be able to take the computer equipment home when needed. And now that we're allowing the campus community to work from home, it's very important that they're able to, take their work wherever they go. I know that that's something that, a lot of staff were already doing, being mobile, especially if they were traveling across campuses. But we're trying to push it even further and have, most of our staff have laptops as their primary computer. So on-campus staff, meaning staff and faculty, staff that their primary assignment is to work fully on campus, will receive a standard desktop unless a supervisor requests a laptop. That will be handled as an exception. In regards to computers that are used by part-time staff and student workers, those will be replaced at a ratio of 1 computer per 2 student workers. And so now we're going to talk about some of the frequent questions that we've been receiving through our mailbox. The first one is, do I need to contact IT to request a computer replacement? So no request is needed. We're not going to be taking in requests. What we're doing is we're identifying all the computers that are currently being used, and we're going to be running a report which will tell us which are the oldest computers. And any user that's identified as having an old computer, we will be reaching out to them and letting them know their computer is eligible for replacement. So there's no need for IT to go to people's offices and physically inspect the computers. We already have a report of what's planned to be replaced. Which computers qualify for replacement? UTRGV owned computers that are currently in use and managed by IT qualify for replacement. And I know that one of the questions we received was if computers in the school medicine qualified, and they do. As long as they're UTRGV owned and they're managed, they qualify for replacement. Computers that are funded by research or grant funds will not be eligible for replacement. Can new employees receive a computer for this project? So this project does not cover initial purchases for new employees. So those still need to be purchased using the department's funds. And can the older computer be reallocated? So we're trying to make sure that all these computers that are old are sent to surplus. So in order to receive a replacement computer, the older computer that is eligible needs to be relinquished to IT. So we are, just like we did in the past, whenever we turn in the new computer, we're going to be picking up the old computer. We're going to be destroying the hard drive and preparing the computer to be sent to surplus. Will IT move my data files to a new computer? So due to the size of the project, and because of the length, since it's slated to go on for 6 years, we will not be moving any data files. There shouldn't be any need for us, IT, to manually move files, since the automatic sync to OneDrive has been enabled on all managed computers. So if your computer qualifies for replacement, it's because it's managed. And if it's managed, then your files should be syncing automatically already to OneDrive. There may be some cases where some people might have 2 drives on the same computer that may be using for storing data. I guess we will be looking at those cases individually, but for the most part, the data is on OneDrive, and yeah, it's supposed to be faster than it's been in the past, where we just go in, swap the computer, you sign in with your UTRGV credentials, and all your files should be there. How will exception requests be handled? So as we mentioned, there's some cases where exceptions might be requested, and a form will be available in the IT support center prior to the start of the program. So any approved exceptions to the computer configuration will require the requesting department to purchase the computer through iShop. So we're gonna have a base model for all employees receiving a computer. If for any reason, perhaps faculty needs a computer that has better specifications, for whatever reason, they can request an exception. However, that department will be responsible for purchasing the computer from their own funding on iShop. And once the computer is received, then the LCR program would refund the difference based on the price of the standard configuration of the computer. So I guess at this time, we can open up for questions. If you want to go ahead or send them in the chat. I do encourage you to visit the support portal, where we have posted an article. That's where we're going to be posting the latest information about the project. So I've included a QR code if you want to scan it right now. And we also have a dedicated mailbox, which is the lcr@utrgv.edu. So
go
if
ahead and
anyone
look
has
at
any
the
questions.
chats. Look, there's some
Okay.
questions in the chat.
Let's see.
Hello? Can you all hear it?
Okay,
There's something
so
wrong
let
with
me
your
see.
mic. Type it.
So would this apply to office conference room computers too? So the only thing that this doesn't apply to as of right now is for lab computers. So any lab computers, I believe there's a separate project that's being worked on for those types of computers. If the computer is managed and is being used, it likely will qualify, but we might we're going to get priority for computers that are being used by full-time staff and faculty. So for the conference room computers, we might have to apply the rule of the 2 part-time employees per computer. So events, the special event spaces. So another thing I can say about conference room is that there is also another ongoing project of replacing equipment in conference rooms and meeting rooms and classrooms. So there are already computers that have been purchased for that purpose. And our AV support team is already working on going through those. So those separate spaces, those meeting spaces, those primarily are out of the scope of this particular project. Will the support staff be notified when faculty get emailed? Yes. So I believe we'll be reaching out to the departments first to let them know which of their computers qualify, so that we can then notify the users individually. Sandra is asking, can a laptop be issued to an employee who sometimes needs to report to Harlingen and their main office is in Edinburgh? Like we said, yes, if their primary assignment is to work on campus, they would be slated to get a desktop, but there will be an exception process where they may receive a laptop instead. Will we be sending the basic model specifications? Yes, we will be posting the specifications on our support portal. At this time, we have not yet made the final selections for the product that we will be getting. We are still working with our procurement office to try to get that settled. And once we have the information, like we said, we'll be posting it there. And it says computers bought with grant accounts do not qualify for replacement. That is correct. Any other questions that you might have about the project? As far as the timeline, like I mentioned, we're still working on selecting a vendor and the computers that we're going to be purchasing. So we expect to get that ready by the end of this year, so that early next year we can start receiving the new computers that we're going to be replacing and start reaching out to people. If you have any other questions, go ahead and feel free to send us an email to the address that is posted on the screen. I mean, that's it. Hopefully, a lot of faculty and staff will be benefiting from this project and get new computers soon.
Hi, Hector. Yes, we still have one more question from Staff Senator Claudia Dole in the chat. The employee will be notified about the computer replacement. What if they are students?
Okay, yes. So that was one of the questions in the slideshow. So if they're students, like we said, so we're going to be giving one new computer for every 2 students or for every 2 part-time employees.
Thank you for that information.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the supervisor or asset owner should be the one to be notified, yes.
I think we're still having a few technical difficulties in the Brownsville office. While we wait for our next speaker, Ms. Ufflin, to get to a computer with a microphone that'll hopefully work, we can go ahead and open up the floor for public comments and questions. If anyone has any questions or something they'd like to share.
Well, if no one has anything, I will go ahead and discuss the, if you use a, I think everybody knows this already, that direct access is being replaced by Global Protect Always On. So you should have received that. If you have a laptop off campus, it should have been automatically received. I'll go ahead and put a link in the chat.
Can I plug a concert? So Kelly, we have tomorrow Ida Cuevas at the UTRGV Performing Arts Complex. If anybody's interested, Queen of Mariachi, if you're into mariachi, Performing Arts Complex tomorrow at 7:30. Sorry, 7:30.
A link or information you can put in the chat about it as well.
Absolutely, will do.
Thanks.
Donna, that looks like there's a question for you in the chat. It says, I have a laptop and work remotely on and off campus. If you can explain your comments a little more.
Here's the info. If it's a UTRGV managed laptop, your computer should have already picked up Global Protect.
Is it still only PCs, Windows?
As of right now, yes. They are rolling out, there is a Global Protect version for Mac OSs. I would go ahead and look at the chat. It's based on the link. It's based on your operating system. But for Windows managed computers, it should have automatically received a Global Protect always on product. You should have a little world down by your time. The system tray icon looks like a little globe. Upon login, it will automatically connect you to the campus network. No, it should not require a full shutdown each time. If you're having problems on a UTRGV managed computer, you may want to give us a call or bring it by the service desk. So right now, as of now, the only automated rollout is for the Windows managed computers. The rest should follow the instructions based on their OS.
Have any other questions or comments?
I have one. I'm not sure if everybody got this email, but I did get an email from Environmental Health and Safety. In their lobby, they actually have a box there for Toys for Tots. They did provide some guidelines, and they do have a deadline, which is December 16th. I'll see if I can try to share it. It's an email type, so I'll see if I can put it on the chat. So if anybody's interested in dropping off any toys for children or for preteens, or there's also an option for money donation. So I'll go ahead and put that on the chat for everyone.
Is there a link to the information? Because I don't have that email.
I don't see a link. I just have the email, but like I said, I can go ahead and just attach the email or a Word document so that way you guys can see the guidelines and the deadlines and where it's at. Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
I'll also like to mention that tomorrow is Veterans Day, and we do encourage all UTRGV employees to post a picture of your favorite veteran that works with UTRGV on our social media, so we can go ahead and give them praise and recognition for that, for their service for the United States. So if you work or know of a veteran that works with UTRGV, please share a picture of them on our social media, and we'll make sure that we give them the recognition that they deserve. Thank you.
Rolando, I thought I also saw an email from HR that we're encouraging people to self-disclose their veteran status on the portal on PeopleSoft so we can recognize them.
Yes, that's just a recognition of making sure that we capture that information on their profile. But this is more of a social media campaign of recognizing the veterans that work with UTRGV.
Kelly, do you mind if I mention a couple of things?
Yeah, jump on in.
Hi guys. So Ray Ramos, I serve as the AVP for Student Success. I just want to publicly thank the Staff Senate, and in particular your wonderful president, who helped us not only by contributing to the First Generation event on Tuesday, but also we had a number of our staffers who actually staffed the event, handing out T-shirts and that sort of thing. You know, we're 2 years into this, and it was really well attended again. It just shows that we need to grow it. So that way we don't run out of food and T-shirts within the first 45 minutes, as has happened the past 2 years. So we will look to doing that here in the future. One other thing that I just want to mention to you guys, I've been trying to start a Latino Male initiative at UTRGV, one of the first questions I had when I transitioned over to student success was related to the success of our Latino males on campus. And there's no question that we're not retaining our Latino males or graduating our Latino males at the same rate as our other populations on campus. And so we've come up with this initiative, which we are titling ALMA, Accelerating Latino Male Achievement. And I have been talking about it for months, and there is no money and no staff to get this initiative off the ground at present. It is me. And so anybody that might have an interest in helping me launch something like this on campus, I'm going to put my email in the chat. So if you would just reach out, I think it's important, you know, the work that for example, Aaron and his team are doing with TRIO with our first generation students is so important. You know, we have almost 60% of our students on campus who are first generation, who identify as first generation. But there's no question that our Latino males tend to struggle a little more. And I think it's important for them to understand that through our staff, our faculty, we have folks that have their same lived experiences and, you know, have a degree. And so I think if we can help share our stories, network with them and serve as mentors, it might be a beautiful thing in helping us retain and graduate our Latino males at the same rate. The other thing I will mention is that we have a Latina initiative in the wings, quite literally called ALAS. And so we are hoping to do the same thing because our Latinas have unique obstacles and challenges at times that I think could benefit from some of the same mentorship and storytelling. So if you are interested in helping launch either one of those initiatives, reach out to me. I would love to start gathering people and see if we can't get this off the ground for sure for the spring semester. Just wanted to mention that to everyone. So thank you guys. I will step back now.
Great. Thank you so much for that information, Dr. Ramos. I think we are ready for Ms. Upland. If she's on the call now, if you'd like to proceed with your presentation.
Yes. Sorry, everybody, about all the we had some issues. Good morning, everybody. My name is Linda Upland, and I think I don't know, Marisa, do I have to share it? The presentation, or Yadira? Because I just got back to my office. That's why you guys had it.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold on, let me just get the presentation because. Okay, so I can share my screen? Yes. And
should be able to.
Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. All right, so good morning, everybody. My name is Linda Upland. I am the director of the entrepreneurship. I'm the director of entrepreneurship, innovation, and commercialization for UTRGV, and I run the Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center. I am going to give you a little bit of history before I talk a little about this center and where we are housed and what work that we do and how we can, support our staff senate and support our staff and faculty at UTRGV. So basically our center is housed under the Division of Governmental and Community Relations. So our center is and we're under the Office of Workforce and Economic Development. Our center is not under an academic unit, and we're actually under this division that works more towards the community and industry. Our mission is really to enhance the economic landscape in the Rio Grande Valley by bringing together the university and industry and fostering entrepreneurship, innovation, commercialization, and mostly fostering partnerships. We would like to build, or it is our mission and our vision to build a regional network that supports entrepreneurs and communities that will then create opportunities for our students as they graduate, and also opportunities for our region to be more, have more of a thriving economy, because if we have a thriving economy, then we have more opportunities for job creation. We have more opportunities for giving back to our community, and of course, giving back to our university. So we kind of come together or come back to the core values and the mission of the university by building those opportunities for our region and for our students at the university. So that's basically kind of like how we work. And we try to build an innovation ecosystem. So this is our core. This is what we do. At the center of what we work is our entrepreneurs, our soft landing, which I'll explain a little bit of what that is, and our small business owners. This includes any student that wants to do a startup, or any staff member or faculty member. But we're not doing it alone. We have an ecosystem around us that supports all the activities that happen for somebody like that, for that center to be successful. Resource providers, champions, financial talent, and intellectual capital all come together to provide that. What do? We connect all these dots for the entrepreneur. We connect them, we provide them with the tools and resources, and then we provide anything and anything that they need for us to then take them to the next level. So this is sort of our ecosystem. Within the university, we do have under our division and other partners in other areas of the university, we built our own entrepreneurial ecosystem that supports all our entrepreneurs. We you see at the top, we're the Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center, but our division and our Office of Workforce and Economic Development is we are one of 6 centers. The other centers, and I don't know if you're familiar with them, it's called the Small Business Development Center, which is the SBDC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which is PTAC, the Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center, which is TMAC, and that is under the College of Engineering, but they're a true partner for us here at the ECC. We have the Office of Workforce Development. We have the Data Information and Systems Center and the Veterans Business Outreach Center. And of course, we also collaborate with the Center for Innovation and Commercialization, which is the CIC, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with, and that falls under the College of Business and Entrepreneurship. So the CIC and the ECC, which is us, kind of come together, and we are the ones that have the business incubators within the university. Some of the work that we do is we help entrepreneurs with funding, any startup work that they have, trainings, seed funding, collaborations, any type of programs that they're looking for in starting their business. We do entrepreneurial development programs and so forth. So all of those programming comes together, and if we are not able to provide them, then some of our partners come into play, and we come together to provide that service. So a little bit of how our center works. So our center is a business, we have a business incubator within the center. We have entrepreneurial development, and we also provide consultation. So our incubator in particular runs through different memberships. We have a global hub, which we have an international program within the incubator, or not the incubator, the ECC. And this soft landing basically provides the attraction of foreign direct investment. So we have a program that solely identifies potential clients or potential ventures that want to land in the United States. We received a designation by an international organization called the International Business Innovation Association, where we are one of 95 soft landing sites in the United States. What that means is that we are promoted worldwide as a soft landing because of the different assets that we have in the region. We are the only region in the United States that has a port, a seaport, that has transportation, access to major transportation lines. We have air, we have rail, and everybody knows now we have space. So all these different assets really come together and give and provide a prime location for international companies to land. What does that mean for the university? Basically, it means that when we land companies that are international, they provide not only capital investment into the region, but job creation as well. That means opportunity. So for us, our international program has really brought a lot of traction for us to be known internationally, but also has brought a lot of opportunity for our region to grow. We have our resident membership, which is designed for members of the community or the region, and we do cover the 4 counties. And basically anybody that wants to start a business, anybody that has an idea, anybody that wants to grow an existing business or expand, we are able to provide them with all the programming and the resources and tools necessary for them to be successful or to launch their business through the different programs that we offer through the incubation program. The Vaquero launch is sort of the same concept of the incubator, but it's designed for our faculty and our staff, you know, mainly to provide you with the resources that you need to launch your business, or if you have an idea, to kind of validate that, to make sure that it can go to market, that it's marketable. We also have a cloud pad, and that's basically for anybody that is not looking necessarily for a space, and we'll talk about space in a minute, but is also just looking for certain assistance in a stage of development of their business concept or the business idea, then we can do that virtually. And we have a co-working space, which means that if you're looking for a space to work, a space that you can, and that is not your house, and that you, or a Starbucks, but you want a space that you can kind of land and just kind of work from there and, you know, collaborate and network and build a community around you of other entrepreneurs, then we do offer co-working in Bronxville right now, but we are in process of expanding that reach. So those are sort of our membership programs. Our services. Some of the services that we provide through the Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center is, of course, incubation and co-working that I talked to you about. We have the Global Soft Landing Sites, and we base that out of a program called the Global Accelerator. We offer ideation programs. So if you have an idea and it's basically, you know, the idea of being on a napkin or just an idea that you don't know if it's going to go or no go, then we offer ideation programs. We do partner with the Center for Innovation and Commercialization to offer the I-Core program, which is a fantastic customer discovery program to validate such idea or technology. We are Kauffman Fast Track certified. What that means, if we are the affiliates for the Kauffman Foundation in the Rio Grande Valley, the Kauffman Foundation is a national organization that focuses solely on entrepreneurship and in support of entrepreneurs and small businesses. So this program, the Kauffman Fast Track, it's our signature programs at the ECC, and we offer this program throughout the Rio Grande Valley. Currently, we are offering it in South Padre Island. We had offered it in Harlingen, Bronxville, and eventually we're going to offer it up the valley in Edinburgh, Mission, Far, and other cities, McAllen, if you know, once we start moving up the programming that we're planning for the next year. We offer programming through our partnership with TMAC, with the Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center. And this is a center that has really come into play in our incubation process to really take on that second phase programming. As you know, as you may or may not know, once you graduate, incubator members, on the point that they launch their businesses, they need that continuous improvement. And we didn't want to lose track of our members or our graduates. So TMAC has come into play to provide them with project management certifications or continuous improvement processes. And if they're in manufacturing, any manufacturing processes that might be benefit for cost and for operations. So TMAC has been a really good partner of ours throughout our programming. We also have a mentor program. We have specialized trainings that are only focused on certain topics that are, you know, important for entrepreneurs. We also partner with the College of Business in the Adopt a Startup program, and we provide the companies for our students to then engage in experiential learning. We have a seed fund called Startup Texas. So throughout the year, we will be having certain competitions through an acceleration program that will prepare certain entrepreneurs that are looking to gain traction, but also to be awarded some seed fund. That's free money, guys. So basically, we award around $25,000 to $35,000 for you to continue the development of your business. And we'll provide all that information later on. And of course, we have other types of networking and other types of programming that are very specific to certain niche or industries or just general entrepreneurs, but also our small business community. Our region is made of small businesses, and we cannot really not service that sector. So it is important for the ECC to always have a small business track to be able to continue supporting our small businesses. It's kind of the mentality of that we grow our own, because some of these small businesses will eventually become scalable businesses that can then be a difference in our region and be large industries and be large job creators. So we truly believe in that concept. This is sort of like a roadmap. And this does not include all that we do, but it's sort of some of the work that, or the partnerships that we have built to provide our entrepreneurs and our community and anybody that's interested with certain assets to what we're able to provide. So one of the things that we use as exposure and awareness, we use our collaborations with our EDCs, with our economic development corporations, with our chambers, or our regional partner, our regional organizations, to get the word out that we are here and that we're able to support our industry and our community. We also collaborate or bring certain platforms, or bringing certain platforms that will then enhance the awareness, such as 1 Million Cups. And this is a platform that I think already runs in McAllen, and we're going to start running it in Brownsville. And it's based out of, basically allowing entrepreneurs to have a platform so they can talk about their businesses. In the ideation entrepreneurship development, we have programs like I mentioned with Wendy Kennedy. We will have a weekend, a 3-day startup program, our Kaufman Fast Track, and we're also partnering with Geekdom in San Antonio to bring a lot of that programming into the Valley. That really is really, really cool in terms of entrepreneurship and business development and so forth. In our incubation and acceleration phase, we actually partner with our other centers within the university. And as well, we also service a small part of the nonprofit world. So if you're interested in a nonprofit or organizing or creating a nonprofit, we do have certain programming that will help you identify that hybrid model, but we also have a nonprofit research center within our division that can support you in programming and education. And of course, market entry and growth, that's where all the money comes in. And it's important connecting you with the right funding sources. And it cannot just have to be seed funds or grants or angels, but it can also be third-party lending like Lift Fund, People Fund, or even commercial lending like our banking system. So we do have good partnerships with our local banks and also some of our larger banking institutions that can support the needs of our entrepreneurs. So this is sort of like a little bit of an example of the roadmap that we follow when we identify, or when you come into our center and we place you in the right section. You don't have to be a startup for us to work with you. You can be an existing business, and it's just, we work with you at whatever stage of development that you're in. eBridge. So this is the big one. And I think a lot of you in Brownsville or in the Rio Grande Valley have heard of this project. eBridge is it's called the Center for Business and Commercialization. It is a partnership that UTRGV created with an economic development corporation here in Brownsville. It's called the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. So about 5 years ago, we started talking and we decided to create a facility that will be a hub for entrepreneurship and commercialization that can provide all the resources that are needed for an entrepreneur, a business owner, or a small business owner to come in and get the help and the assistance that they need. Through this partnership and partners that have joined this eBridge concept, come together to really create this state-of-the-art facility located physically in Brownsville, Texas. And it is a 36,000 square foot facility in Brownsville. It will host a lot of resources and a lot of the entrepreneurial or economic development offices for the university, and it will host us. We will be moving, and actually we're in the process of moving right now, moving into this facility, and it's located downtown, in downtown Brownsville. But the idea is that we are here to prove this model, to prove a model of creating hubs in the region that will have access to resources that we can have continued education and facilitation, and to have access to capital, all through all different sites that can able to provide these different concepts to our community and to our region and to our university. So the mission of eBridge is really to nurture the entrepreneurial ecosystem and become a global hub of innovation and venture development. So we really work in the space of creating ventures and creating opportunities, realizing dreams for some of our entrepreneurs, and even for some of you that are looking to start a business. It's really a service for us, a passion for us that we work in the center to be able to help you realize those dreams. This is just a little bit, this is just a little bit of the pictures. It will be open in the next couple of probably in the next couple of a month and a half. But this is some of the work that we have that you will see inside eBridge. This used to be La Casa de Nylon. For anybody that's from Brownsville that is familiar with downtown Brownsville, this is a historical site. So we are in a historical building, but what you see from the outside, it's completely different from the inside. So we invite all of you to visit eBridge, call us, and we can set up tours, and we can set up appointments for you to come in and visit this fantastic site that will have all the resources that you need to be a successful entrepreneur. This is our team. So I couldn't do this without any of these people that you see in this picture, and our student employees. Our team is really the core of the center. We have trained, we have certified, we have sweat to be able to provide you with the best quality programming that we can do to be able to make you successful. So Julio Quiroga, Maria Villalon, Berta Lance, and Perla Garcia are the core of the ECC team. We're a small team, but very, very passionate and very committed to the work that we do. We also have a group of student team that has really come to support all the activities. One of the things at the ECC that we're very focused on is that we do not, our students are part of our team. They get projects, they get tasks, they get responsibilities just like a full-time employee. So, and we engage them, very, very much in everything that we do for them to really become part of the work that we're doing in our community, in our industry, and in our university. So that's who we are. I didn't want to take too much of the time. I know we lost quite a bit of time there in the transition. You can follow us on social media. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, I think too. And that's where we host all of the events that we actually try to promote. We're actually promoting one right now. Next week is Global Entrepreneurship Week. So we will be hosting an event at Lucena House, in our temporary house, because we are moving. But follow us on social media so you can look at the information of the event. It will be next Thursday. And it will talk about successes and struggles of entrepreneurship. Not everything is pretty in entrepreneurship. There's a lot of struggles. There's a lot of challenges. It's not an easy journey, but it's a very rewarding journey. So we invite you all to be part of this event if you're able to make it. But also follow us on the social media and feel free to contact us. Feel free to reach out to us. We are here for you. This center is, even though we're on the governmental community relations side, we're here for our staff. We're here for you. If you have an idea, if you want to start a business, please reach out to us. We have a lot of programming and a lot of cool things that we can offer you to be successful. Thank you. I can stop sharing.
Thank you so much for presenting. We really appreciate all the great information you provided us today. Our next guest speaker is Ms. Elda Arriaga. She will be presenting on our Military and Veteran Success Center.
Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
And now I'm having issues. I apologize. So I wasn't on the agenda. First, I'd like to say, if I have any Marines on the call, happy birthday, Marines. My grandfather is a Marine. Happy birthday, Devil Dogs. I'm a proud USMC granddaughter. I just wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing for Week of Valor. A Week of Valor, we began promoting it as Week of Valor last year as a week-long series for faculty, students, and staff, engaging veterans across UTRGV and connecting them to see who the veterans are at UTRGV. We've had a series of events earlier this week, but we'll continue with a couple of events today. We had Trench Art in our Edinburgh campus, but we'll have two important events this afternoon that I'd like to focus on. Life as a college student. So it's something that we would like faculty and staff to attend, to hear and ask questions, you know, what are the barriers? What are the issues they face during the transition? And we're focusing on that: service, transition, and academic success. We have current students, we have current graduating students from our module program for the fall, and then we have alumni that we're bringing back, some of our student leaders as well. Our following project today will be our creative writing for veterans. This is open to anyone as well. This is actually being led by a Marine who is in an MFA program, Mr. Jay Villanueva. He is a distinguished poet. He's a published poet from UTRGV, and he'll be presenting on ways to use creative writing, how this is used when in the service, while deployed, how he became interested in this field. And he's going to be presenting on that. That was also open to faculty and staff. I'm going to go back to the main page. These are a little bit about what we did. We had breakfast engagements with our faculty and staff, student veterans. We actually met a lot of new faces, and it was good to put a name to the face, especially after COVID. We haven't met a lot of our students or faculty and staff. And like someone mentioned, I don't know who it was, I was having issues with my Zoom earlier, but tomorrow is Veterans Day. If you have attended one of our events this week, you should have received a We Got Your Six shirt that you could wear tomorrow, which is Veterans Day. For you all that are not familiar with the We Got Your Six slogan, is we got your back. So if you would like a shirt, we are going to be giving shirts out at our events this afternoon. So if you attend our events, you can get one of our We Got Your Six UTRGV shirts, and you can wear it tomorrow during Veterans Day to show support for military connected students across UTRGV and our faculty and staff. I know I wasn't going to present today, but I wanted to share a little bit about what we do. So I have a little bit of information. So our services are provided to faculty staff that want to engage with our office, but are primarily for students. We students that are receiving federal or state benefits under the military requirements. So it could be a veteran, an active duty member, reservist, or a family member, spouse or child. And then we have support services. We have a multi-purpose area in our campus locations that is completely furnished with new computers. So we recently updated all our computers in our labs. And then we have a book loan program. We have a Student Veterans of America that's currently not so active. We are looking to recruit new officers for that. And then we help with assistance with tutoring with our Veterans Upward Bound. We collaborate with Veterans Upward Bound to promote their services in the Cameron County area. And we have engagement opportunities for our student veterans. Our multi-purpose lab, how I said, it's open, free services. They don't use their printing between 8 and 5 when we're open, but we also offer testing materials. Basic Scantrons and Blue Books, but we also have donations from the community, pencils, pens, highlighters, things like that that we give out to military connected students. And I don't want to take anyone else's time, but these are a little bit of activities that we have, community engagements that we do. We do present to students and presentations to special populations such as TRIO. We've been a part of their senior day. Some of my students and ROTC cadets have participated in that. I am a TRIO alumni, so that presentation hit home. I really appreciate that presentation earlier. And we have scholarship opportunities. UTRGV has a distinguished scholarship for veterans with the Chamber of Commerce through the Texas CUCM. And we've on average have supported students with over 25,000 in the last 4 years in scholarship opportunities. And that's with the commitment of our government relations and community relations with the City of Edinburgh's Chamber. And then we have opportunities for female veterans as well. at the end of every semester, we honor our student veterans, and this is a little bit about what we do and our military connected students. So if you've seen our post about veterans, they get a distinguished recognition event at the end of every academic semester. And this is a little bit about what we do. This one was actually during the pandemic, we had a drive-by graduation event, and this is a little bit about what we did. That's all I have for today. I wasn't supposed to present, but I know I wanted to share a little bit about what we do for Week of Valor. Do you have any questions on the call? So I can't hear anyone, but I don't think we have any questions.
Okay, if we don't have any questions, thank you very much. If there's any further public comments and questions, we'll take those at this time.
Kelly, I have a few announcements.
Great, thanks.
Okay, so the first announcement is that we want to make you aware that there is an events committee that gathers 3 to 4 times a year to work on resources, processes, and institutional event collaboration for the purpose of improving the event experience at UTRGV. And this events committee is happy to share the launch of a checklist of resources for planning an event at UTRGV. The link to access this checklist is www.utrgv.edu/events. You'll see that in the chat box. And if you have any questions or suggestions for resources that you'd like to see added to this checklist, please do not hesitate to reach out to events@utrgv.edu. So that's the first announcement. The second announcement is regarding parades. UTRGV will be participating in the Edinburgh Night of Lights on December 2nd and the McCann Holiday Parade on December 3rd. So we'd like to invite UTRGV staff and faculty to participate in representing our university in these important community events. Specifically, we're looking for 18 to 24 volunteers who would like to help with handling the Vaquero balloon in the McAllen Parade. So if you're interested in participating in either of these 2 events, or if you have any questions about what the volunteering would entail, again, please reach out to events@utrgv.edu. And stay tuned because we'll be sharing more information on volunteering opportunities for community events in Brownsville and other cities in future Staff Senate meetings. So more to come on that soon. And then the third announcement is we want to invite everybody to save the date and join President Bailey and Provost Arney at the holiday receptions in December. And so the dates for those events are December 7th in Edinburgh at the PAC lobby and December 8th in Brownsville Gran Salon. A formal invitation will be going out to our staff and faculty. So be on the lookout for that in your email. Both receptions will be from 3 to 4:30. So again, pencil in your calendar. Does anybody have any questions on any of these 3 announcements? Otherwise, you can also, again, reach out to events@utrgv.edu. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can, Yadi.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I had to step out. All right. So if there aren't any other further public comments or questions, we will now move on to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a staff senator that would like to start that motion?
This is Cordelia. I move to end today's meeting.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Is there any debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? All those in favor, please state aye in the Zoom chat. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes.
It's adjourned at 10:52 a.m.
Thank you all. Don't forget that each one of you is very special to us. Y'all have a great day. And again, thank y'all so much for your hard work, and keep on doing what you're doing. Remember, you are an institutional agent, but like as my boss says, Dr. Ramos, we're empowering agents. Have a great day.